Good morning, it's Steve again. This is March 17th, 2023. Felt nice out today, so I wanted to get out here before my walk, debating on this video, but I guess I just want to do it because I just reached my first month. Yesterday was actually my first month post-op from February 16th surgery. The MIS TLIF of my L4-L5-S1. So I guess I just want to talk about the positives. Um, try to do it a little bit faster, but a lot of the positives I'm definitely stronger as far as the surgery itself is concerned. Like my back has felt stable, stronger than it's been, definitely post surgery. Haven't had any issues really with that. Um, it's just amazing of how I feel in comparison to what I felt like before, especially when I'm on my walks. Like I feel like I can walk as far as I can physically walk if I wanted to do it, or if my legs and strength allowed me to do it. Um, so I'm very happy and no regrets about the surgery itself. Um, a lot of the other positives have been the strength. I've been able to walk up to a mile a few times, but I've also been told to just take it easy. Even though I still feel like moving makes me feel the best, I've been breaking it down to I'm about between, I want to say, about 6,000 and 7,000 steps a day over the last few weeks. Um, I'm doing more things around the house, still being mindful of no bending, lifting, twisting, all that stuff. Um, I can feel that when you do get to those levels of pushing. So I still wear the brace. I actually don't mind the brace. I just can't sleep with it. Um, but I'm stronger with things as far as helping do little chores and little things like wiping off counters and, just picking up stuff because it just gives me something to do. Just stronger mentally. Like I know things are going to work out. Um, I should have wrote things down, but overall I feel confident with the surgery. Like the scarring is healed. I actually had my 1 month follow-up with my, oh, that's the pool, with the assistant. They did some x-rays and I saw the screws. I did find out that I have 5 screws because one of the screws, the space was too narrow for it to actually get itself through, and it was very hard to get through itself. So they aborted the 5th screw. So there's 2 on the S1, 1 at the L5 level, and then 2 on the L4. And he assured me that it wouldn't make any difference. It was solid as a rock. They all looked great. He said that looked great. The scarring was healed. I asked him, what can I do as far as, driving? He said I could drive as long as I'm not on any meds, which I've really been trying to get off of those completely. I might take a half a Percocet every once in a while. Not sure if that's what I should be doing because I do have some downfalls in this month as well. But, mostly it's been just like a little bit of the muscle relaxer. And I've been doing it every 12 hours along with a Tylenol. But he also said I could get into like the jacuzzi. So yesterday's for my 1 month positive was I took about a 30-minute drive, felt comfortable with that. And I made it out to one of the YMCAs we have here that has a steam room, jacuzzi, pool, and sauna all in one room. So I wanted to get in there with the jacuzzi because I wanted to treat other parts of my body, some of the leg tightness, just in general. And he said I can get in that. So I did that yesterday, and I tell you, it was a very strange feeling. It was a feeling of, okay, I'm gonna have this hardware. Not to mention, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but it was almost an instant connection with the older guys. I used to see so many of the older gentlemen in there doing their routines and maintenance, and it was a part of their life. But you could see a lot of them that have the line down their back. Not many like I have with the minimally invasive, but the actual T-lift or P-lift or whatever. And you just see them, and it's almost like a must for them that they have to go through that process. Even when I was out there golfing, I was out there golfing with the older guys, and joking with one of my buddies. I feel like I'm getting a cheat code with them as far as me being 46, hanging out with guys in their late 60s, 70s, even sometimes 80s. But they give you all the advice and all the tips and tricks to it. And the one thing they say is you got to keep moving. You got to keep working on yourself, and it's going to be a part of my life. And I'm starting it earlier, so hopefully I could get that really established. And also just the fact that the type of motivation you need to be able to push yourself on your own, that was kind of clear yesterday, as well as there's so many people that make excuses or just find a way to not do stuff versus just get going. There's rarely a time when you get going and feel bad afterwards, but there's definitely times when you don't get going and you feel awful. So I'm trying not to mix that up with pushing myself too much. I don't believe I am. I believe I can push much more, but I'm trying to balance out the negative side of what I have going on, which I'll get to in a sec, versus remember I have a surgery, remember I have a multi-level, remember this is only 1 month in, and take your time, because it will show you that you need to do that. You have to be careful, because the moment you feel good, you want to get out there and do things that, I pulled the lawnmower out. Granted, we ended up getting a new lawnmower, the self-propelled Ego one, just to make life easier for when I do return. But that excitement made me want to try to push it around a little bit, so I stopped, and because it's not just pushing the mower, it's bending down to put the 10 amp battery in, and those things is what will grab you, not necessarily the activity itself. Self-propelling, I could ride across real easy, but putting the battery in and pulling the gate, the handle back, that's the stuff that really you don't think about, that can hurt. So again, I would say that overall I'm stronger. I'm happy. Oh, and one thing I would say, weight-wise, considering what I'm going through, all the drugs, how you can get inflamed, I had to do a steroid pack. I haven't gained any weight since prior post surgery, but I haven't lost any either. So I kind of take that in a good way, considering I'm not eating terrible to make me gain, but I'm not doing a whole lot to make me lose either. And I actually feel like I'm gaining a little bit of muscle strength, because I'm getting a little bit smaller as far as certain things fitting, which means the body fat percentage is coming down, but I'm not losing weight, which means the muscle mass is coming up. And I do have a personal training background that I'll start to incorporate as soon as I get the free to go. I mean, I have the saltwater pool. I have a lot of things that I can really enhance this. I'm just being very cautious and letting the experts on that end guide me until I learn what I need to do, and then I'll take over and I'll start working. So the negatives, the negative has been my left foot. I felt it the moment after I had surgery. The first time I walked, right underneath the ball, like if these are my toes, right in here, I felt like this nervy sensation. Wasn't bad then, but after the meds and everything died down and I started getting more walking and stuff, it would burn all the way across the top of the foot and up the calf, on the lateral side of the calf. And it's been a constant thing. It's been the most irritating thing. It's been what's keeping me up at night and not being able to sleep well. And it's gotten worse. I've watched several videos in the middle of the night because I can't sleep, trying to find guidance on what to do, or is this normal? And from what I understand, it seems like it could be that, being my nerve was flattened, it's trying to rejuvenate itself and regrow. And with the fact that nerves take the longest to do that, it could take weeks, months, sometimes even a year or more. And they even say if you have it after a year and a half, that's what you're going to be stuck with. So some of that I can understand why people get a little concerned, a little down, a little depressed, because the pain, as I described it to the PA, it feels like several things, because it has very acute sensations. Like if my foot was on fire and it's just burning right on the foot, it can feel like that. Or if you took your foot and put it into like snow, then you pulled it out and you slapped it, it can have such that sharp, icy feeling to it. And then sometimes underneath the bottom of the foot, it feels like I have a golf ball or marbles in there, but there's nothing underneath there. And what it's doing, it's hindering the walking that I need to do, that I want to do, and starting to cause a gait pattern limp, which can also be putting a little bit more pressure as I limp, you know. So I messaged my team this morning with a detailed email more about it, because I'm concerned, what do I do at this point? How many else has experienced that? And how long does it take? I've heard, you know, it's normal. It can take a while. They put me on a prednisone pack and it did very little. I mean, a little bit of, you know, temporary, but it'll come back roaring at night, and it's always seems to be worse at night. I didn't want to go back on all the Percocets and everything to try to mask it up. You know, I'm just not sure. So it's been bothersome, or it'll sting like right on the top of the toes and everything. So that's been the only real negative that's causing me to walk not the way I need to walk, or to put in the walks I need to put in. So I don't know if I need to do a, like I've heard people talk about the gabapentin or the Lyrica. For me, it'll probably end up being the Lyrica. And I don't necessarily want to go that route, but I'm supposed to get quality. If I'm not getting the quality, I'm not getting the rest. How am I going to heal? So do I need to bring back in some of the meds and stuff, which, you know, I don't know, I guess everybody's different. Maybe my nerves were damaged longer and deeper than I thought. Or maybe something got messed up when they were, you know, took out the sixth screw that didn't go in. I don't know. But I can see how it makes you question things. It makes you concerned. But a lot of people, most that I hear, they assure you it all of a sudden just gets better. So, you know, I'm going to keep pressing on. I'm only doing, he said do frequent walks, just shorter. So I'll go out there and do maybe like a little quarter of a mile down to the end of the block or back. Just trying to keep myself going, because again, if it wasn't for the ball and that foot, and that feels like if I was running like a half marathon with no shoes on, it has that ache on the bottom to it. You just can't step down. So I don't know if that's a drop foot. I don't know what it is, but I know that it's hindering me right now and making me a bit concerned, but I'm still remaining optimistic that it's going to get better, because I do feel it moving around. I do feel it jumping around. So maybe that's all signs that it is actually trying to rejuvenate itself. So overall, 1 month in, I feel stronger. I feel no regret still with having this surgery, because I know what I had prior. I couldn't do anything. I've gone to the store. I walked a little bit in the grocery store, and I couldn't even do that without leaning over the cart. So there's so many more positives. I just have this one negative that's a pretty strong one. If I say 90% positive, this 10% is hitting harder than that 90% in a sense. So, you know, hopefully I can get some answers, and hopefully it'll just work itself out soon. But, you know, if you guys have any info on that, or how long the neuropathy or whatever it could be, or what helps you, I haven't had a whole lot of much to help it unless you mask it up. So I just think more time maybe. So but overall, I'm still very happy and pleased with where I am, and I have to remember that it's only 1 month. I literally just hit 1 month. So try not to keep it too long this time. We're at 14 minutes. So I guess, you know, like everything I've seen, just keep pressing on, and it'll just keep getting better and better, because most of it is better by far. If I look back a month ago and where I am today, it's night and day. Just the foot is also night and day. So, all right, guys, until next time, I may check back in if something big happens, because I heard 6 weeks could be when it goes away, but I'm not gonna put no week frame on it. If something happens, great, I'll check back in. But if not, I'll check you up, or I'll come back in on the 2-month mark. I know this is way down on the algorithm. If you try to look these videos up, it takes pages and pages and pages. So maybe one day or 1 year this will pop up being current 2023, and it'll help somebody, because it's helping me to find videos from certain people and that's why I'm making it. And then I'm also making it for myself. So, all right, guys, have a great day. See you next time.